Social media marketing has become the order of the day in today's world of digital content creation. According to a recent report released by Goldman Sachs, the so-called creator economy is estimated to be worth a whopping $250 billion. In South Africa, this industry is not only gaining traction, but is also beginning to draw criticism for allegedly opening a window into the dark side of marketing. While some social media influencers are accused of collaborating with unscrupulous marketers or brands, others are said to be endorsing medical products that make unproven claims such as curing HIV. So what are the risks, we ask, and what are these risks associated with online users consuming such content? Earlier we spoke to social media analyst Tisetso Tsotetsi, who provided more insight.
There are zero frameworks to sort of regulate what we put out there and what we say to the people. Now, where that gray area becomes a very dangerous thing is because the general public is generally afraid, or rather feels like they do not have access to celebrities, but to influencers such as myself. We are closer to them than the actual TV mainstream media celebrity, right? And therefore it makes us more personable, it makes us more accessible, and because we do have the influence and the following, we are trusted quite some more at a lesser price also.
And many of these predatory schemes gain visibility because sometimes algorithms reward engagement over authenticity. So just to what extent should platforms be held responsible for amplifying content that disguises trafficking under the guise of lifestyle or career opportunities, for instance? And what mechanisms could realistically curb this without stifling legitimate content creation? Because as much as social media is a helpful tool, it can also, be somewhat of a danger.
Yeah. So where the break happens is in the negotiation between the actual influencer and the brand or the business that he's working with. And platforms, the different social media platforms are not doing anything to kind of manage that and regulate that. For example, if somebody comes to me, for example, and says, hey, here's a school in another country where we're looking for young kids to go, young female kids to go, you know what I'm talking about. The onus is then on me to have done the due diligence. And if I get that due diligence wrong and it happens that that company or that business is, for lack of a better word, a human trafficking ring, the onus is on the influencer itself, and the platforms are not managing quite properly, in fact, at all, the negotiation between the influencer and the brand. And because also the criminals know this, they have mechanisms within the negotiation that firstly blindside the influencer or hide things under the rug for the influencer. And then, much like in yesterday's case where a lot of the influencers were coming out and saying, I didn't know, it's because of certain mechanisms also that are put in place by the criminals. And we can go into that. Things such as making their profiles look very safe. Like you go through the profile of the business that wants to work with you, and you see that, okay, it's safe, it's worked with other influencers, it looks like a legitimate business, they have too much to lose, and you end it there, and you don't go to the likes of Hello Peter and everyone else to go and check whether indeed there are other things that I'm not seeing in their profile. So they only show you what they want you to see. And they have also other psychological mechanisms that have almost also been caught out by that. You won't see it unless you think with your second brain. And the platforms are not very active when it comes to managing that negotiation.
And also, Mr. Tsotetsi, it seems like it's an entire show, especially for the influencers, because they thrive on likes, and they also, to a certain extent, have mastered that art of, controlling what audiences are able to consume. And some influencers may genuinely not know the full extent of the schemes they promote, while others may turn a blind eye due to the financial gains. Just so, how do we distinguish ignorance from complicity? And ethically, should ignorance even be a valid defense in an industry where influence directly impacts people's lives and livelihoods?
So there are good influences on the socials, and there are bad influences on the socials. There are people that trend for the wrong things, and you'll find some of those people getting work. And there are people that are trending for the right things, and sometimes you find them not getting work. And you will find that across the entire spectrum, you'll find people that are nudists, people that trend for and get likes for bad content, and sometimes these brands do not care. And secondly, the brand, between the negotiation, as I said, between the brand and the person, there's no one from the platform who's actually overseeing this and seeing whether this is actually chaos or this is going to end up being criminal, right? And then you find, especially with a lot of the ladies in the beauty sector, you'll find them being used a lot, because there you won't find you find quick monies, exposure to glamour, very little attention to detail. We want nice life, we want it now. So this mixture is supposed to be managed by the platform during the negotiation between influencer and brand. While that is not happening, it's a party, literally.
And you make a very important point there around instant gratification, because seemingly that's the order of the day when we look at these platforms. And we are a country that is heavy on self-regulation in the advertising and influencer space. So given the stakes we're seeing with trafficking as well, that is on the rise in the country, is self-regulation something that might work for us, or does this crisis point to a need for binding solid reforms moving forward?
So self-regulation depends on the self. That's a big problem. If it depends on the self, I wasn't in the mood I was yesterday that I am today, that I'll be in tomorrow. Some people's sense of ethics fluctuates across different days. Today you feel like you're holier than thou. Tomorrow you feel like you are Al Capone. So I think the dependence on self to regulate, I really do not believe in that, because then we are totally different people, and what's right to you may not be right to me, right? And this is why I'm saying, yes, we are given this freedom of speech, and we're giving this freedom of expression, and we don't want to be censored. And I understand that, blah, blah, blah. And it's a beautiful thing to have. But it becomes necessary now when predators use that as a gateway to access the public that we speak to.
Yeah. So just how would we be moving forward then with this conversation, especially when it comes to the point that you cannot automatically expect that everyone will be doing the right thing,
Look, and I think this is somewhere where the state can support, right? In that, manage the social media houses and manage what they put out there and hold them accountable. I have never seen a representative from any, it doesn't even have to be the CEO. I know the CEO of TikTok, for example, sits in Singapore, but a local representative sitting in parliament accounting for some of the things that happen on the profile, on the platform in the country here, and have conversations about how we're going to reform, like I just suggested now, that in the negotiation between the brand and the influencer, the the platform itself has no one overlooking and overseeing that, even when they know that those posts that are going to be put out are going to be boosted, they're going to get a lot of traffic. It's not well managed. Whereas it's registered on the platform as an ad, right? That's just on the advertising part. On the other part, algorithms go with a person's sense of ethics. So if your sense of ethics, if in your head it's nudity, it's trafficking and all those things, those are the things that will come up in your algorithm, right? And this also speaks to the moral fiber of South Africa as a whole, right? Because we complain about all these things, but there's a market for them. We'll complain about the usage of drugs and the usage of underaged women in can I say sex trade? The usage of underage women in sex trade but you will find that there is a market for those things. There are people who are looking for that in the very South Africa we're looking for. So yes, we're regulating, but can we also do something from a socio-economic level to regulate why bad things have a market? Because these influencers that give bad content have a market.